Hello, hello. I'm trying to like go live smoothly with the music, but it's not working for me. How are you? Hey Sashin, hey Tony, hey Python. What is up? Let me check everything is working. It looks like it does. I went a little bit earlier live today because I need to leave earlier. Yo chat, yeah. Hi chat. What's up? Today we're just gonna go through the project, do like a refactoring session and see what we have for Saturday, because on Saturday I plan to stream heck long or hell of a lot. I don't know, you get the point. But yeah, I think on Saturday we're gonna do like the very heavy liftings, and we're gonna do a major progress. If, you know, if the stars align on that, of course, if nothing else super happens. But yeah. Wait, I see a message, just a second. Please check your Insta DM, I really need a suggestion. I'll check it once I have a moment. You know what came yesterday in the mail? Let me show you. Well, you wanna guess what it is? Do you hear? Do you hear? You wanna guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. It's something dev related, but not directly related. I also made myself a coffee and it's actually pretty good. Okay, I'll reveal it. No, not a mouse. It's the West Boss stickers. You cannot see them, but they're here. I got 3 packs of them. Boss stickers, they're called. Proven to make you a better developer. If West Boss says that himself. Did it sound like a keyboard? It might have been a keyboard, right? Like a very squishy, weird keyboard. But no, it's the stickers. I had his previous batch that I got as a complimentary because like there was some issue with the course I bought. So I just don't know where to put them though. I have like the MacBook and it's super clean, it has no stickers and I'm kind of like liking it, so I'm not really sure where I'm gonna use them yet. And that's also one of the reasons why I bought 3 packs instead of 1, because if I have 1 then I will be overthinking it, where I should stick them on and, you know, internalize them there. But it's fine. You look great. Thank you. I actually slept very well. I got so I don't know if you know, but my grandma is in Mariupol in Ukraine and the city is sieged. There is no electricity, no water, no, basically nothing, only bombs. And for the past 2 weeks, I have not had any direct contact. But yesterday, my brother found a girl whose parents live in the same building as my grandma. And a week ago, they contacted them and they're alive. So that's already as good as it can get for now. And I guess that also kind of like brought up my mood to know that at least a week ago, things were fine. Okay, so Majid is saying, thank you Dana, e-commerce site like we said that day when I was talking about OLX. Yeah, but it's the same one. It is the same one still, we're still building the same one. It's part 11. if I don't code, but I have those sticks, so will I become Bo's developer? Yeah. If Westboss says so, you can claim. If you're not, to him, please, not to me. So, yeah, no. Positive thinking. Yeah, that's only, I mean, at this point, I really have nothing else left to do. It's only positive thinking. It's only like hoping with everything I have that she's okay. And she's a fighter, so I know she's okay. But just hearing her voice would be good. So, what else can I say? Oh yeah, I started saying that I started the stream a little bit earlier, so it might take a little bit some time for other people to join. But as always, everything is recorded, saved, uploaded right after the stream ends. And the reason for that, so wait, what did I say? I said that I started earlier. Yeah, the reason for starting earlier is because I need to finish the stream earlier. So we are on a time limit a little bit. And sorry, I get distracted. I always get distracted. Yeah, and the reason why I need to leave earlier is because I need to go and volunteer to help translate for the refugees from Ukraine who are arriving to Berlin or are already in Berlin. So, yeah. But Saturday, I plan to stream long. Not sure how I'm gonna do it with the lunch breaks or food breaks in general, or just like walk breaks. We're gonna see how that goes. Maybe I'll just need to do all of that before and then sit down and streaming. But maybe around like afternoon, like midday-ish, to start streaming until probably late. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But I really want to kind of like get into use context, state, getting filters on, applying those filters, URLs, and all of this kind of stuff. So it might go, you know, not super productive as I think it will right now, but that's just like part of the deal, right? This project is awesome. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. We're developers, and developers are lazy by default. They'll join soon, don't worry. I don't agree with that developers are lazy by default. Like, not as like people, you know, you're lazy when it comes to you needing to constantly type the same crap again and again and again. So you get lazy, you go to Stack Overflow, you copy paste, you don't remember those things. But as people, I would argue. Do you parallelly also stream on Twitch? No, I don't. Is this a full stack project with Firebase? No, this project is fully front-end based. I don't know why I say based, but yeah, it's a front-end project and we're using a third-party API. You can see the link in the description box below for the API. It's a makeup API. I have no relation to the creation of that API, we're just using it. Also the UI, we're using something that we found on the very first stream from Behance, from Piotr Medycki, and we're just kind of like tweaking it here and there, but the base of the design, it's also not done by me, done by that person, which is also in the description box below. You can also find the link to that design in case you're interested in that. And what else? Right, files, GitHub repository, files to start from zero if you wish to go to part 1 and start coding again, or if you want to jump on with me right now, then there's also a code along which was updated from the previous stream. So the state that you're gonna have if you're doing it right now, and if I didn't release any new stream, is gonna be, yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. Because if I release a new stream, then it means that this stream is done and the result of this stream is uploaded, is pushed. You know. So, a sip of coffee before we begin. Speaking of full stack projects, would you be interested in doing like a full stack project? Because I played around with Firebase once, but I didn't really do it properly. I always had custom stuff done, or by me or by backend developers that I was working with. So, no. But we could do maybe like a Node.js project, like to the extent of my knowledge. Although, of course, frontend is the thing that I'm most comfortable with, so that's why I keep on bringing up frontend and APIs and everything. Also, especially if you're like a beginner, I don't want to overwhelm you like with tons of stuff. Yes, we want a full stack app with React and Firebase. Okay, does anybody else want that, or is just you? And you say we, because that's now you're tricking me. Am I the only person here that uses TypeScript? Maybe. Actually, a colleague of mine shared with me a resource to learn TypeScript, and I've been loving it a lot. I kind of like, I didn't do it for about a week or so. Hey, Danish! I kind of been doing it for, so like before, what do I want to say? Before a week? So a week ago, I've been consistent with doing that thing, but I have not been consistent recently. But let me show you it, because I think it's an awesome project and it's an awesome initiative, because you're kind of given, what are you given? So you're given kind of like a, I don't know, instructions, let's say, how to work through the code that they give you. So you're actually typing things and they explain to you things. And then they stop. So if you do, let's say, 5 exercises, if you do 5 exercises and then you're done with them, then they tell you, okay, stop it now. And then the next day they remind you about it. You have a recap quiz, and then you can continue with the new material, which I think it's freaking awesome, because that's kind of like what self-learning is lacking, right? You don't know where to stop. You don't know where to be like, is this too much? Why am I not getting it? And then the next day you can really easily forget things, and you need to kind of like invent your own projects to practice them. So this resource is bomb, in my opinion. I'm gonna post it in the chat. Yeah, this one. And thank my colleague later. I really liked it. I have never seen them before. Maybe for you, it's nothing new, but I've been enjoying going through this course. And they have, so this is the basic one, and I think they have other ones that are more advanced. And also, of course, if you really want to like go forward, you have the option, but they are really advising you against it. Like, maybe you should take a break and come back tomorrow with a fresh brain and everything, because otherwise it's like, coding is a mental work, you know, there is nowhere to rush. Just need to pace it, take your breaks, and let your brain do the work that it does, you know. And that also goes to tell about those people who tell you that they learn how to code in 3 days. That's some bullshit if you ask me. Okay, so shall we switch our screens to the coding part? Boom. So our beautiful Welly app. Also, funny thing, I've been calling this thing an app, which it's a website. It's not an app. And I have a friend, and she's learning UX now. And she's like, Daniela, what's the difference between web app, and progressive web app? So I'm like, okay, progressive web app is just like it's a different story. But app and web app and website, I feel like we're just like interchanging those thingies, you know? It's like those terms are just existing in space, and we're just using them however we wish to use them. Yeah, get a job in 2 months. Yeah, exactly. Like, who are you? That BS delivery wasn't point. Right? I mean, it takes us at least half a year to deliver a project. What are you talking about learning? Okay. Can we add back into this website? Yeah, of course. You could like create your own API or mimic the API that we're using. Let me copy the link. So if we go here to the makeup API, unless you fill every company's mailbox with spam. Yeah, by the way, so there is a thing, apparently, I was not aware of that, but there is a thing called pool hiring and hire to fire. And probably there people can get hired within like a day, but there is no guarantee that those people are gonna stay and are going to maintain a job. And again, you know, like also like maintaining a job can sometimes not be like the amount of days or weeks that you're in a job on a job doesn't necessarily reflect on your skills, but in the hire to fire probably it does, you know. So I don't want to like be limiting our thinking here. Hire to fire, what the hell? Yeah, I heard it today and I was like, okay. So, ooh, thank you, Vegas Deep. So at least in Berlin, the hiring pool is very small when it comes to the demand that there is out there. And there are like some speculations, or maybe like, because I don't know those things, right? I hear it like from people who work in HR and stuff. There are several companies, or many companies, who are doing this hire to fire in order to just get the candidate out of the market. So like the risk that they're taking is just taking a candidate, and because in Germany there is a thing called Probezeit, which is probation time. And it's 6 months, and within 6 months you can really see if you like the person or not. And if you don't, then and especially if it's a startup, then you don't really lose that much. It's not like in corporate environment, you know, that you need to onboard the person and really get them into the system, educate them in terms of how things work, and, you know, get into the flow. So the loss of the hire to fire companies is not that big, and I guess that's why they do that. Because worst case scenario, they're gonna get a good candidate. You're always talking about backend. Do you need tips? No, I just want to make a full stack app without backend. And thus I'm learning Firebase. Right, so we were talking about backend. So you could take probably like the response that this API is giving and put it in your backend and have like different routes to call, for example, with parameters like brand, product. So they have here the search params, these ones, which you could add and then extend this app, and instead of relying on this makeup API, do it like from your backend side. The reason why I didn't do that is, first of all, couldn't care less about backend. No, but like my whole point is to make us together go through struggling and reading docs and trying to figure out how this like things work. You know, you're given a task, hey, here's an API, work with it. And you need to kind of like figure out how to match the API with the front end and with the design that you have. And I personally think that that's a more realistic thing that you're gonna face on the job if you get a job as a web developer, rather than building everything yourself. especially as a beginner. So that's why I went that route. What does a front-end developer really do in an actual job? Please elaborate on this. Well, that really varies. I'm not gonna... It's funny because, like, never mind. There are those memes, you know, that you have like this very difficult coding challenges and everything. Hi, live stream, welcome. And you're getting asked like all these algorithms and all of this stuff. To then only change the color of a button once a month, you know, as a developer. So it's like, I want to laugh and cry at this because, you know, that's life. But front-end developer can do anything related to front-end really. And I think that there is so much to learn about front-end for me still, even though I've been exclusively front-end developer without touching any back-end for almost 3 years now. And I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, you know. There is like, so it really depends if you as a front-end developer want to go only the technical part, or also you're interested in the product part in terms of seeing how your whatever feature you're developing is also impacting the business and all of that side of development. But if we're talking just the tech part, there's also like security, accessibility, well, responsiveness is already like a must for any web application most of the time, and also like for juniors, I guess you already focus on that. What else is out there? Compatibility in different browsers, in older browsers. If you have like a client or you're working for a company that is like the user base is using Internet Explorer, then best of luck in that. Luckily my company dropped support for IE11 last year, I think, and we all kind of like made like a deep breath. No, how do you say it? Exhaled with relief. Scalability, yeah, there you go. And there's like architecture and everything, and it's so interesting. And that's why, you know, like when sometimes we're talking about full stack and I'm like, but wait a second, we still have so much to do still here. And it's also fine if you want to go full stack and maybe you're opening the doors for yourself into backend and you're more interested in that. But I really started liking, I liked frontend always. And I think frontend is really underestimated in terms of like, oh, it's just like, you know, doing a little bit of website. There is so much that goes into it. And that's why it's just kind of like a separate field of itself. That's why I really want doing only front end without touching back end. What an ideal job, really. Yeah. And I think also if you get to work with like good UX designer or in general designer, who else? Probably a product, but in general, like dev designer relationship, if you find like a good designer with which you're talking like on the same language, with the same terms, and you're respective of each other's work, because I've heard a lot of devs bullshitting on designers, and that's not fair. Like, give people the chance to show you that, like, I don't know, separate topic. But yeah, if you can find like a good designer that you can work with together very well, I think you can reach incredible heights. Hey Sahil, what's up? Uk30, is there a reason why I use JS and not TS? Yes, because I don't know TS. But I'm learning. Wait, I'm gonna drop again the link. Oh no, that's not the link. For anybody who is interested, I don't know if you can scroll up in the chat, but let it drop it here again. There is an awesome resource to learn TypeScript and really like it. So I'm still like in the learning process of it, but not yet. Maybe some project soon we could do that. Maybe I would actually record an Ultimate API Challenge episode with TypeScript. That could be an idea. Like a very simple project, both for me and for you. Do you use Tailwind at work as well? I notice you use it a lot. I use Tailwind at work for not work projects, if that makes sense. So my team has created a project together for us, for ourselves, during like our little hackathon day. And yes, there I use Tailwind because I had the option to use it. But at work we have our own design system, so you can't really use anything else. I mean, you probably could, but it just doesn't make sense because you would need to adjust too much and there is already a design system that exists for you. Hi Sherlock. Hey Ahmed. It's Ahmed. This is my YouTube channel account. Check everybody. Ahmed's YouTube channel account. Yeah, so TypeScript is hopefully gonna get settled in my coding brain soon. I'm just like seriously only today from the past 2 weeks, I guess, I slept for 11 hours and I'm in this mood. I haven't been in this mood for so long because of all the stress and all the worries that I have. So, and this might not last long, you know, this is also like we take it day by day. But for now, maybe I will be able to like take, you know, another step forward and get to TypeScript and continue advancing my skills as well. Thank you so much for the shout out. Yeah, gotta support each other, right? At the end, it's all about API and manipulating the API. You mean the front end? I would say that it's all about fetching data from the API and manipulating the data that you're getting from the API by displaying it in a way on your page. You know, so for example, we had it, where did we have it? We had something with our product. Wait, I gotta stop saying wait because that just doesn't make sense. Like, I need to put like a euro jar to keep track of how much I say wait. I want to find the product. So the product page has a product preview. Yeah, so for example, things like that, you know, you get them from the API, you get a description, and then you need to replace all the HTML tags if they exist. Or you need to remove the underscores, or you need to, I don't know. You have so many things that the API doesn't provide you necessarily in a way how your front-end app works. And I think that's the interesting part of it, you know? Yes, one more and another is key. Hope people find this channel amazing. Also will increase traffic one day. I get good enough traffic. I have good people around. We're having fun. We're having great chats. So, I don't know. I'm quite good. Here to steal ideas from Dana's projects. Hey, go for it. That's why those projects are here. I'm just collecting the pieces of the puzzle. You can use the puzzle. Okay, let me see if we have some other music in the meanwhile. And let the coffee kick in. I'm glad that the light is getting a little bit more prominent, because it was still light outside and you could not see anything what was going on there. It was just kind of like weird. So we say last time lo-fi. Lo-fi. Let's see how this playlist goes. I think you should start editing your streams after for the casuals and provide a shorter version of the process. Yeah, so that would probably take me ages. And that's the reason why I even started streaming, because editing takes so much work, and I also want to have a life, you know? So that's why I also don't have that many videos out so often, because it's a lot of work. If I'm gonna start editing the streams, there is no way I'm gonna have a life. So that's not an option, sorry. And there's a difference between live streaming and between like curated content that I release as videos, you know, pre-recorded and everything. So you're providing an entire puzzle, not just the pieces. Yeah, but you can use that puzzle. All yours. Yeah, editing is so much better. Yeah, I agree. That's why, you know, and it's also kind of like, I don't know, sometimes it feels that, you know, you also have all the questions, and maybe somebody was not able to get into the live, but they're still interested in the questions that the chat has. And then, you know, it will be kind of weird, you know, like they would still be able to read the chat, but they would not be able to see the part, and it's just confusing. So we'll just give it. Live streaming is great. We can ask Doubt also. What do you use for state management for work? Well, I work on different applications, so it really depends on the app. But personally, on the things that I use whenever I implement it, for me, use state was enough. Once I did a use reducer, but it was back in the time where I didn't even understand what I was doing with the use reducer, but it worked, you know? That was like in my very, very, very beginning of the career, and I was just like, things work. That's what my senior told me to use. And I was kind of like, I'm rolling with it. It's okay. He knows better. I had to film videos for a bootcamp, and it was such a slow process because I am really not an editor. Yeah, I can imagine. And then there is also kind of like, there's one part of recording, and then there is another part of editing. And I found that in the first times when I was recording and then editing, that there is like, while you're recording, you need to keep in mind about the things that you're gonna edit later. In a way, like, I don't know, if your head moves and you did a mistake or you misspelled something and then you repeat it, you want to cut it out, and then it's like this, you know, which is probably not a big deal, but it's a little bit annoying for the eye, and it's also annoying for you because you need to find like the best way how to cut it. And yeah, there are so many things that go beyond, I don't know, the naked eye. Just wanted to know how to start learning step-by-step ReactJS from basic. Any guide, which come first, which come last? Always feel misguided. Stick to one course first. Course. Make sure you learn all the topics from there and just start working on small projects. You learn stuff as you stumble across different. That's pretty solid advice. And I did, I think, the React course of WesBoss 3 times. No, 2 times. I didn't really like the beginner course there, so I wouldn't say like go for it, but once you get a little bit the hang of React, the advanced React is really good. Because otherwise, where else can you learn React? Probably here. But yeah, I didn't give any basics of React. I mean, I think if you know JavaScript, like with React, it's gonna be more simple. Just like do smaller projects bit by bit, stop, read the docs, and read the beta docs if you can. Because I think there are much more. Oh, actually, the beta docs of React, they have some interactive coding that you can do there. So maybe even check that. Yes, and it feels kind of weird talking to a camera without any audience to communicate with, right? Absolutely. I mean, I do talk to the camera a lot on Instagram, but at least there I see myself, you know? So it's kind of like, it's less weird. It's like talking to yourself in a mirror. At least you have some feedback. But yeah, to a camera just like this, it is kind of weird. That's why also streaming is much nicer because, you know, there is some feedback. How do you deal with burnouts? I had one after 30 minutes of coding. I mean, if you have one after 30 minutes of coding, then maybe you're really, really burnt out and you need to take a serious break from it. I had once a burnout in coding. I had burnouts in other fields as well. I'm probably not the best to know how to cope with it because I'm also waiting until the very last point until I cannot anymore. And it was not necessarily the coding burnout, it was just a company burnout. And it was just nasty from how it was handled. There was a change in management and everything. It was just nasty. So I would say just a very, very long break can help that. And taking things slow, taking things easy, and being kind to yourself. An editing trick I've seen is when you make a mistake, make a loud sound, make a loud sound and find it in the audio track. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to do that with a clap or something. Maybe I should try that in the next video I record. But sometimes it's just like now that I read this message, you know, loud sound, la la la, and I just didn't pronounce it right. And it would not, I would just keep on going, you know, in order not to lose the momentum and start over again. So those are the things that are a little bit harder to find. Hello, Donna from Vietnam. Hello. How are you? What time is it there? Must be late now, right? I also need to not miss the end of the stream. Okay, y'all, how about we start a little bit of refactoring? I promised today that we're gonna do some refactoring because we're not gonna do anything super heavy because of the time limit. And we're probably just gonna get prepared for Saturday for our long stream. And again, I'm very sorry if eventually the Saturday stream is gonna get canceled. But you need to understand, and I know you understand, just want to put it out there again that we are currently in very, very vulnerable times. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, you know? So, fingers crossed nothing happens and everything is okay. And we are going to be live together on Saturday. But if not, then just send me your best wishes, okay? And I hate to be this person who is promising things and then doesn't deliver on them, but what can I do? Some things don't depend on you. Okay, where do we go? We are gonna go to... Okay, we have here a to-do. Split to smaller components. So let's go back. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. You work at eBay. Did you sniff around my profile now? You probably wanted to know which company was the bird of that. I get it. I would do it the same. Probably. I don't know. Depends on my mood. So we have split into smaller components. Let's go to product preview. What do we have here? Right, so the product preview is when we click here, and that's our product preview. Yeah, just so what do we have here? Okay, footer is out of this picture because footer comes from our product page. Wait, where is it? What should be the salary of junior front-end developer? Well, I guess it depends where you live. I think it's like, or like where you apply to work at. So salaries can vary depending on, well, of course, level, which is, well, you said it's a junior, then a location, and the company, and the budget of the company. So it's really depends. I went for, so I'm not gonna say numbers because there are reasons behind it. But like, I went for something that was a little bit on a lower end in my beginning, but then after I kind of like proved myself, I also worked with a very nice, he was my boss. In that first company, my boss was like an awesome guy. Still is, I'm still in contact with him. And I don't know like what happened and if that was like his initiative or not. I assume yes, but I got like a 50% raise. So I was not underpaid necessarily, but then after this bump, I got into like the higher end of junior salaries. So it can really go in different ways, you know, like you can get like maybe a higher end salary, but then be super miserable, don't like it, or they expect too much of you. I went with the rule of, hey Pramita, thanks for the sub. I personally was thinking through myself as a junior, my first job as a developer, and I came from like self-learning and, hey Sila, thanks for the sub. I went from self-taught / bootcamp person. So for me, within like this span of 2 years to start even getting money for being a developer was already kind of like, wow. So I went with the idea of how much will I be okay earning without putting too much pressure on myself. That is like, oh my God, there's so much money, I'm not delivering enough. You know, like if I would have asked like a lot of money, well, first of all, I wanted to get a job as soon as I could. And I didn't really, I don't know, the money is still good. The money, my first job as a junior developer was the best salary I've ever had in the first place. So it was already worth it. And then after I started getting raises, that's like, you know, could have never imagined I'm gonna be there. But yeah, I think going with this idea of how much you will be okay getting and not overstressing yourself about it. Depending, I guess, on the location, you can do some market research in your area, how much people are earning. Back then in Berlin, people were not sharing this crap at all, so it was very hard. Now we have a little bit more information, or maybe it's because I'm within like the community. All right, because times are changing, but yeah, before it was not really a thing to share salaries, which is sad, right? But that was my approach. Hello from Turkey, hello. I think I said everything that I wanted about salaries. Okay. think I put the music too low. If we have it like that, it should be fine. Is it too loud? I think it's okay. Basically not checking bank balance after shopping. Yeah. I went with my, that was a funny moment. I went with my partner. We were in Spain. I really wanted to buy shoes. And I was just like trying out shoes and everything. And at some point I settled on ones and I was just like, yeah, I'll take them. I mean, it was a sports shoes, you know, I didn't go to like any high-end shop. And once we went to the checkout point, my partner was like, how much are they? And I was like, I don't know. He was like, you reached that level apparently. And I was like, yeah, if I like something, I don't even need to know how much. I mean, again, knowing that the shop is reasonable, right? But I didn't need to check if it's like 80 euros or 100 euros. I knew that regardless of that, I could still pay for it. So that's something that I'm still coming to understand and to go away from the mentality that I lived with in always of never having any money. And yeah, I wish everybody can get into tech for that reason alone. Like at least for that, you know, to have like independence and just get that cash. Guys, this is all the motivation you need to get into front-end. In general in tech, it doesn't necessarily has to be front-end. Like product also gets fine. Marketing, I guess. Business analysts, data analysts, data scientists. I think those are even getting even more. But yeah, there's like anything that evolves around business and bring in the business value, gonna be good. I used to be an architect. There is no money there. And no freedom, only judgment, and only like really working hard for all the money to get into your boss's pocket. And of course, like in tech, also your bosses get the money, but you get a little bit more. And you have options, and you're flexible, and you can work anywhere, and you can find a job anywhere, even if you move countries. You know the drill. I don't need to tell you that. That's why you're here. My coffee is getting colder. I need to drink it faster. Christopher says, I always thought architects make good money. They do make good money if you have your own company or if you have a very high position. Let's say like if you're in a big firm, in a big practice, but the competition is so freaking high and the amount of hours that you need to put into it to maybe even be considered for something is insane in my opinion. So I went to architecture because I like the problem solving, and once I figured that I need to find another job like in another field, I found that also coding has the same level of problem solving. Of course, I still play the same, you know, to like build some buildings here and there. And I sometimes like build like SketchUp models and stuff, but problem solving is kind of like on the same level here. It's different, but same. I wanted to be an architect at one point. Yeah, well, I think it's also very different for men and women in the overall architecture world. So I don't know. And I think you also need to be extremely talented. Like I'm not that talented. I'm very good in practical things and in problem solving and in like, I don't know, that was kind of like my strong point, my strength in that. But if you cannot make it beautiful, nobody really cares. And I mean, you can make it beautiful, but it needs to be like, wow. And I'm just like, whatever. I was also very young. So maybe if I would do it now, I would approach it differently, but who cares? I'm in tech. You get a lot of cash here. I'm happy. Tech is easier to get into. Give 6 months for prep and one can easily get a good entry-level job. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's just like, oh, 6 months and then you get a job. I don't think it's super easy to get a job, an entry-level job. I think getting an entry-level job is the hardest in terms of the jobs. But it's possible. There is a lot of demand, like a lot. So in that regard, you're not gonna, there is still competition, but there are options, you know. And also 6 months, it really depends how you learn. Sorry, how much time you have to learn, basically, like how consistent you are and all of that. So you need to find your way. But I agree that it's totally possible, like very possible. So you can do it. Christopher is saying, I know what you mean. That's one of the things that made me realize I probably wasn't cut out for it. Enjoying what I've learned in web development so far. High five. Glad to hear that. Yeah. It's nice that besides getting a good tech job, you can freelance on the side. Yeah, and you can do so many things. Like getting the job that pays your bills like very well is just one part of it, right? After that, you can do really like a lot of things. So it has a lot of options and it's pretty cool. Okay, chat, continue writing. I'm just gonna start doing a little bit of things before we run out of time. Oh wait, no, still have time, yeah. Before my night shift. Okay. So I was saying that we have the product page where we have the loader that we did last time. Remember? You're gonna see a loader here. Boom, beautiful. And then if you go to this, you saw a tiny loader and then you see the product. So that's our whole page. What do we have in the app? Right, the navbar is in the app and the footer as well. So that's why we don't see it on the product page. And we have the benefits and the recommended products. So these are the benefits. It's a separate component that we're using also on the homepage. And this is our recommended products. And if I'm not mistaken, so last time we did like this loader thing, but I think we forgot in one place to, I think this is the place, because you see we're using it like this. And I think we can just do it like this. Save it. And yeah, if I go back to Welly and click on this, yeah, okay, it works. Perfect. Not saying in terms of product company, India always has a lot of hiring going on, even for entry level, for service-based companies, which mostly revolves around support and maintenance related work. Okay. But I hear that also like in India, the interviews, they have like pretty big expectations, no? Or at least like from the Indian following that I have, like sometimes people are asking quite specific algorithms, questions and things like that. I was just like, why are you asking this? This doesn't matter. I mean, in a way, right? As a junior, like I don't know, unless you're applying for Fang Mang or any other bigger company. But I wouldn't expect anybody to ask you this. And some people have been saying that in India, like it's a requirement to ask those things. Or like an industry standard. So the idea right now is to have kind of like we have here with the product title, the same separation with these kind of things. Probably doesn't make sense what I said right now. This to be split into smaller things like this. That's what I meant. So product preview, let's see what we have. Product companies definitely have pretty high expectations here. Okay, so we have our image. So there is another thing. When I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it yet, but I've been doing a mix. So I guess that's what I'm going to do here as well. Let's say I have a component that I just want to split into smaller components, and I know that I'm going to use this component only here. So I would add it just as a file in this product preview folder instead of creating a whole other folder with all of that. I think that's what we're gonna do now, because otherwise it's just getting too cluttered and you don't even know what's what anymore. And you need to come up like with ideas of naming, and it just doesn't make sense because here you can just put image and that's it. Right? Let's do that. So we're gonna do image. Cut it out. You know, like these things on Instagram, cut them off. If they're not good for you, cut them off. That's what we did. So we need a name and image. Because the image URL is gonna come, we're gonna create an image URL ourselves here. I mean, create is a strong word, just, you know, prepend the HTTPS protocol. And we need to import it here. There we go. And we need to add name. We need not to add, to pass as a prop the name and the image, which is already here because we know because of this. And now we need to save this. And there you go. The image is still okay. It's still responsive. Awesome. Still doing it well. Just a second, I saw a tag on Instagram, I gotta reshare it. So next, we have this whole chunk. But we're not gonna isolate the whole chunk. we're just gonna go and go one by one, I guess. I mean, this part could probably be one thing. And then, so this part is already isolated because we have our button and the price and then the description. Should I practice data structures and algo for a front-end interview? Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about before. So I didn't, as like a thing, you know. If you watch Friends, you know the reference. I think again that depends on the industry, how it's in the place where you're applying to. Because I see absolutely no point in in asking those things at a front-end web development interviews, where later on you're just changing freaking buttons. I mean, you're doing other heavy liftings, of course, but algorithms? I mean, okay, it depends. Like, if algorithms we're talking about, I don't know, JavaScript methods, you can do some code wars to practice, just like to get good with methods, with syntax and everything. But I'm really still waiting to see where this whole thing is like very useful. Ross, is that you? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think as a general knowledge, it's a good idea to have those things. And that's why I bought like tons of books about it, because I am at a point where I'm interested in those things. And I think that I can understand it better, you know, rather than just like, okay, learn, like university style, you know, where you just like rush through everything just in order to get the degree and get like checkbox. So look, if you're good with those things and you want to go for it, then absolutely go for it. But honestly, like, I don't think companies need to ask that. And I think there are tons of companies who don't, at least here in Berlin. You know, hire to fire. No, before hire to fire was a thing, I was never asked actually at an interview. I did many of them, and I was never asked that. I was asked a lot to build a React shop from scratch, which is another... Why do you need me to build a React shop from scratch, dude? How are we gonna call it? Subtitle? Product. Condensed information? That doesn't sound good. Short description? It's not a description. What is this? It's a title. It's a name. It's a format type. A type. Info. I'm gonna call it info. Oh my god, do you hear this noise? I have the wildest neighbors upstairs. They're just like... It feels like they're just like moving their whole apartment every day for fun. Which I know, I mean, I don't know, but I probably hope it's not true. It's just sound isolation is very bad. But they don't care. Sadly. You're playing Lofi in the background? Yeah. I mean, I chose like some playlists. And apparently now it's playing Lofi. Let's see, I found another button here. Find similar. Let's see how much similar it gets. Do you hear it well, or should I get it like hot, louder? I mean, Lofi, it's a little bit chill, so it can go a little bit louder, right? Okay, so info we got. Now we need category, name, and type. So the format type. I would call it formatted type because, or yeah, let's call it formatted. I thought to call it maybe product type, but we need to describe that here it's the type and it's just formatted. So should be descriptive. Category, name, and type. Save it. All right. And now we can remove this once and just import info and have name, type, and category, right? This can stay by itself, and then description. Let's put a description. We can put text here. And here we go. Yep. Text. I mean, you could also pass a prop called description, but it's just like description, description, description. Sometimes you can spice it up. No, it's just sometimes. Not like so, you know, it's kind of like coloring outside of the lines. No, it's not. I don't know why I say that. It's just, ignore me. So we have those quite fine things. CSS, we don't have anything, we can just delete that file. Boom. Yep. Okay, let's check everything works. I mean, it should, because we have a hot reload. Cool. What else? So now if we go to our product page. Oh, did I want to do it here, Diane? I don't think I want to do it here. So what I'm wondering is if this should become this. I mean, we already have our product title here, right? But then what are we gonna call this? Product? No. Because what I'm thinking is that, okay, if I'm gonna remove those ones to the scope, we're gonna move them like to be available from the product. And they probably need like their own component folders. I don't wanna, like, this decision is just purely developer based, because for the user that's not gonna matter at all. I'll just keep it like that. It's fine. We could put maybe the product title inside of the product preview. I think that could be a good idea, actually. Because we're passing the single product.name anyway, and product type as well. So that's what we're gonna do. Where's the product title? Where else am I using product title? Only in product. Yeah, well done. This babe is moving. Product title is gonna move here. Move. And it's gonna be called title. And we will add all the required props. So title goes out, and wait, okay. So this is gonna be outside here. We need a wrapping element because we're gonna add the title here. And because I'm too lazy to import it like a human. Why it doesn't offer me? Okay. I'll have to import it like every regular human. Title. And this becomes name. And type. So type is type, and the replace happens in the title then. Did it. Yeah, and this way we then don't need this because we're only gonna render this component, right? There we go. Yep, still works. So the only thing that you probably noticed is that we have type.replace here as well as in our here. Maybe this one can. So what are our options? We could keep it like this, nobody cares. But since it's a tiny bit repetitive, we could actually send it as a prop already done. So we can do this operation of replacing only in one place and then, you know, like kind of like split it and send it to the child component. What I'm thinking is that let's go to the use get product. Okay. So we could probably also change things here. For example, here in the response.data. Let's see the response that we're getting. So if we inspect it and we go to the network and we refresh it, that's our API. Stop it. Stop it. That's our API call, and we have product type. So we could potentially do here format product, and we send response.data, and format product is going to be a function. Format product is going to take data And then we can do data dot product type equals, was it this? Yeah, equals data product type dot replace, and then we return data back. And we could actually do here several of those things. We don't need to do only one. Do you hear me well, or does like the the sax is overdoing it? Saxophone, that is, not the sax. So let's keep it like that, because we could also change the image, right? Because we're prepending it with HTTPS. Could do that here straight away. And that could even like benefit us in a way that, so it's kind of like this thing of separation of concerns, right? That you are dealing with your data in one place, and then the components are like stupid components, and they are just responsible for outputting the data out. Of course, they can do a little bit of manipulation here and there, but it's really like up to us where we want to do what. So let's give this one a try. The thing about coding is that there is no like a set of rules that you have to fulfill. There are of course best practices that are like there to help you and the people who are working with you and reviewing your code and working with your code later on, and the applications themselves to really kind of like, you know, improve the work. But when it comes to these decisions, big scale applications probably have like their own flow and their whole set of rules, and probably gonna have it in the README and all of that. But when you're building your own project, as long as you're consistent, that's like the rule to go with. If you put it in the component or if you put it in a hook, as long as it's always there, then it's fine, you know? That's kind of like the golden rule in a way. But then again, there are no rules. Another JavaScript video live, yay, yay! I'm also happy that I'm here and that you're all here as well. So, I said image, right? Well, first, let's see if that works. We need to go to product preview. So we have our types now here. Oh, and we could do the description as well, you know, and no need to do formatted types. We can just do type. So if we save it, and we need to find a use case where we have an underscore, because now with the foundation, for example, we're not going to see it. So eyeshadow palette, let's go. No, it's just an eyeshadow. Mascara. Lippy pencil, lip liner, there you go. Worked. Awesome. So now, look how clean our component becomes. Or became. We really only have the tags, and why is that so far away from each other? It's fine like this. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Now we had this type somewhere else. Where did we have it? Type was in the title. Yeah, we can now remove this replace because we fixed it. So I just type. Simple. Cool. Now, what else we're gonna change? We said we're gonna change the description. So if we go to description, we have this dot replace that we need to fix. And we go to the hook. And here, where is it? So refresh. Here it is. Is a description? Yeah. A long wearing and high intensity lip pencil that glides on easily and prevents feathering. Nobody likes feathering on their lips. So data.description. So we're basically like reassigning the description to whatever it is. Else, how we could do that? We could also do it in a way of, so let me copy down this function and I'm gonna comment this one to show you another option. So we could do return spreading data, that's ES6 syntax. Basically what we're saying is return whatever is going to be in this curly bracket. And it's going to return an object, right? Which we know that data is already an object because we do data.stuff, so it is an object. We're operating the curly brackets and we say, hey, spread the data here. So whatever is in data, put it in this object. So we kind of get like a copy in a way, you know, of whatever is already there. But then the properties that we want to change, for example, product type is going to be like this, you know, and description but of course it's not equal, it's a colon. I forgot part of the replace here. There we go. And you can do it like that. So whichever really way works for you best. Then of course you remove this part and you can even remove this and this. And this will need to be then wrapped in parentheses, so it will understand that you're not opening the function, you are just returning an object. The lonely comma wrapped. Let's see how that worked. If I refresh it, takes some time, huh? Wait a second, why this one didn't? It didn't work. And it did work with this. If I refresh it, the page breaks. Wait a second though. How is this even working if we are not committing this thing anyway? Like even at this point, it should not be working because whatever we're formatting here, it's not doing anything here. I love those things. So I was telling to my mentee, Giovanna, if you're watching, hi, that like developers really like using the word magic, because a lot of things are magic, like in a way that they just happen. We don't know how to explain them, and we don't really dig into figuring out why they work or why they don't work. I mean, when they don't work, probably yes, because it's a bug. But when they work, you're just like, don't touch it, it works. So I'm trying to get away from this mentality, because I feel like you can ride on this wave of magic and just like let it be for a very long time, and then just like not have any solutions or understanding why things happen or not happen. And but this also, like, to me, this starts being an option once I have more and more experience. In the beginning, it's just like, it's fully survival mode, you know. You're just like so scared to lose your job. You just want to get your job, you want to get paid, and you want to get experience, and you just want to be kept on this project and to work on it. So you're just like, yeah, it works, fine, bye. But now it's time to really kind of like, okay, why does it work, or why it doesn't work? Of course, to some extent, and sometimes, like, I also have another colleague, he's awesome. He's always digging into all the like root causes of everything, and I really aspire to be like him. He's an amazing like role model of a developer, in my opinion. And it's like, whenever I think that I found the reason and I dug into it, he finds an even bigger reason to that, you know? So except for Monday, where we had a bug and I figured all the chain of events and and I felt like super proud, because I was just like, oh, I figured it out. It was a toughy one. But yeah, let's dig into why it still formats it. The stickers are reflecting, and I always feel like it's my phone on, even though my phone is here on another place. Okay, let's find why set single product is still putting us a lip liner with the correct thing. Is it because I didn't... Wait, so here it's gonna be text. Yeah, Daniela, jump around, because like you got everything figured out, right? You can just jump from one component to another without any reason. It's just because it was unsaved. Okay, so that's in the info. We have the type. Damn. Is the type without underscore? No, it is with an underscore, but here we don't see an underscore. Is the hot reload not working? Where the hell does it format it? I don't understand. So if I comment this thing, it shouldn't even affect it. Okay. It's just probably like hot reload situation happening, because at some point I was already like freaking out. So we have here underscore and here underscore. And now we're gonna do const data. So in here, we are catching whatever we're returning from here. So this, our thingy, right? And here we are just going to commit it then to the state. And there you go. It disappeared. There's no more underscore. Whew. At some point, you know, you're just like starting to doubt yourself, even in a object deconstruction. You're just like, what the hell? It takes time to load because you're destroying the magic. Yeah. External forces are affecting the whole situation on the page. Okay, cool. We could go even further. No, we can't. So I was thinking to maybe like remove the product underscore type, but then that would just create a new entry instead of like replacing the previous one. So it's fine. We're gonna keep it like this. I wanted to say something else. Oh yeah, when we were doing this object, you have to deconstruct it at the beginning of the object that you're returning. So basically the first line needs to be your deconstruct if you're doing whatever we're doing here. Because if you put the deconstruct under, you first change the keys. Okay, let me show you. So basically if you do this and you write product type is blah, and then you say deconstruct everything I have in data and put it here, this key that you created is going to be overwritten by the value of data, because data has this product type as well. If you don't have this key, so if you know that you're creating a new key of blah type, then it doesn't really matter where you put the data, here or there. Like it can be both ways, you know. But if you are changing an existing key from the object that you're deconstructing, then it has to go first. Okay, that was another important thing that I wanted to say. Also here we could, you know what, we could put this in here, because whatever this returns us, we are straight away putting in here in the set single product. But like, is it fancy? Probably. Is it a one-liner? Yeah. Is it nicer to read? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'll just keep it like that. You do as you wish, but I think, look, we're not paying per line of code, so it really doesn't matter if it's in one line or 2 lines. Do whatever you need, like what's best for you to read, especially if you need to go through those lines of code later on. You don't want to like spend time on debugging whatever you wrote or deciphering in order to understand what's written. You want to be able to just like, you know, get into it. So it makes sense to put the deconstruct first, because if the property is the same, you are reassigning its value. Yeah, exactly. But that's the case that we have. But if you don't want to override a value, like you don't want to change the value of that key, then really doesn't matter where you put it if you're creating a new key. So, and maybe there are use cases that, you know, you want to write the key in case it doesn't exist, but then you want to spread it, and then like if it does exist, then it's going to override it. There's like use case by use case, but it's just important to know why this data came here on the top and not at the bottom. That's my point. I apologize, I'm late. No, you're not late. Welcome. Okay, I also wanted to change the image like this. So if we go here, don't tell me I need to reload again. I mean, I don't have to reload. I can also check what I'm passing here. So API featured image. Okay. API featured image is like this. No problem. What are we working on? Same project, just refactoring a little bit, adding some formatting in the hook instead of the components. And yeah, we kind of like decoupled, created all these files in green. I don't know if you can see the green versus the white. It's a little bit subtle. But these ones that have the U, the untracked. So we created components. Okay, so name type, name image, name type category, price. Did we need to change the price? No. Title. Okay, so I assume now we don't. Okay, we didn't save it. Of course. No. I'm late too in the sense that I would have wanted to be here for part 1. Well, part 1 was long time ago, my friends. So I don't even remember when was part 1. Wait, I can check it. When was home committed? 7 months ago. Yeah, but hey, we're here now and we're doing it now. So I mean, part 1 is still recorded. You could really watch it. But I'm also happy that you're here on the live stream. So let's do prop types. Prop types. Prop types. We can close product, use product. Let's start with the title. And of course, I'm not gonna create my own stuff. I'm just gonna copy paste it. So we have name and type. Perfect. And yeah, don't forget to change that whenever you're copy pasting. We have title, then let's go to info. Info needs category, name and type, name. Boom. Info. And put this here. And now what? Product price. Wait, let me open all of them so we don't need. So card button is no, and here. Okay. Wait. Again, why did I tell you wait? Who knows? Where are you going? Nowhere. I mean, and even if you are, is my wait really gonna stop you? No. And in this case, it's text. We will prop types, like the hockey song in the stadiums. Yay! Isn't it Queen? We will rock you. I think it's Queen, right? Yeah, there we go. David telling me I don't remember any names of anybody. I know it's from Queens. I mean, from the band Queen, not from Queens. I'll stop now before it goes any further. Product, price, and is large. It's not required. It's a boolean, I assume. And if it's not passed, then we should have default types, default props, default types. Where is large? Yeah. How do you do the default ones? I already forgot. Okay, so it's just default props. And then you define the prop itself. So basically we define our default props because why do we need props in general is if you're using this component and you're not passing a prop, then there is a chance that your component is going to break unless you're like, you know, proofing it. But in order not to wait until you have a bug or until there is a use case where you didn't pass something, or if there's a new person working on that or a person who isn't familiar with the code. So anyway, defining which props the component expects, especially if it's like bigger components, you know, it's easier. And also defining the type of that prop. So if you're passing, for example, a number when it's required a string or something like that, which is, why is our price a string? Don't want to know. It's what it is. Probably that's what we get from the API. And for example, the is large, if we're not passing it, then it would be good to have like a default prop for it. So React and the prop types, they know how to behave when that is not passed. Are we done with the props? And why is it JS and not JS6? JS6, there you go. I was wondering why it had like another icon here. Title, cool, yeah, description, nice, and info. Yay, we got them all. Did I just see that? No, we didn't get the image. Okay. I just thought that at some point I saw this one capitalized. Which is why I'm copy pasting those things, because seriously, for the love of it, I cannot figure it out. Not figure it out, I cannot remember which one of them is lowercase, which one of them is uppercase. And probably me copy pasting is not helping that, but who cares? Have Stack Overflow for that, or I don't know, docs or other files. So you see there is like a prop types that is like lowercase, and then here it's uppercase. And here it's uppercase, and here is lowercase. That's too much useless information to remember that we don't need. I'm gonna take this prop types because we're not gonna invent anything new. Name and image is what we want. Cool, save it. We're done with this part. It's what it is. React knows how to behave. We're back in Magic Real. No, I mean, isn't that enough of an explanation? I mean, you can go deeper into type checking and everything, but I think like that was sufficient information for prop types. And probably all that I have, so. So cool, we did the product preview. I would really love to call this just product, which I think I will. And the only reason why I was not calling it product I'll show you why in a second. That's a very long suspension. It's because of here. So we already have a const product, and this is also the product component. But I can just name it product preview, you know, and the file can still be product. Which is, I guess, a little bit confusing. Usually you would call it the same way, but it's fine. Because to me, if I go through the components as a developer and I see product preview, then I'm just like, why is that the whole page, right? It's easier if it's just a product. Product card, then product price. Where else are we using product price? I think in different places. Yeah, card and product, yeah. So we cannot put it in our product folder, which is fine. We don't need it there. We could probably even just call it price, because it is price. Like we could prepend everything with product here, but we don't need to. I have a solution to for your uppercase, lowercase issue. Use hyphens everywhere. Why do I get a sense that it's like mocking happening here? We also have a price range. Well, that's different, right? Product card, product title. Oh yeah, we removed that one, so delete it. Yeah. And where we're removing product price, this is now price. Cool. Product card can stay like that because that's very specific. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we have some other to-dos. To-do, randomize recommended chunk of products. Do we want to do this? I think we might as well, right? Unless we find something else. Also, it's the first time when I'm watching this code in this theme, and sometimes when, I don't know if you have it as well, but when I'm watching code in different themes, I need to readjust kind of, because, you know, kind of like, it's almost as if the brain is indexing the whole situation and like, and I need to go through it. Only me. We can search for the to-do. Wait, I think, wasn't there a question about grid somewhere? Let me know if there was a question. It's not mocking, it's a real solution, I swear. I learned it in a CSS course, and it helps once you're back in JavaScript. You don't need to remember if it's uppercase, lowercase. Oh, you mean then the classes that you import? Or which one? Because I don't think there is a problem. I don't know why you got the sense that there is a problem. Did I have a problem with that? I don't remember. Remind me, please. Look at this, what we have here. We don't need that anymore. I don't know what was that accent, but if we do here image URL, and that's a product card, so it's these, but we can go to LE. Hey. Bro, how did this project start in August 2021 and is not yet finished? Are you asking me? Because I'm not a bro, unless you're asking somebody else. It's called live. Yeah, basically replacing the image URL is working. Oh, what do we have here? Name replaced. That's in the product card. Why did I replace? Huh. Did I have some numbers there? Or dots or what? Okay. Understandably so. Wait, so if it's like this, what is the long one? This is a long one? Okay, so here is the full name. Okay, fine. That seems reasonable enough. Because we also wanted to truncate it in a reasonable place and not just like an ellipsis. In case somebody asks why we didn't do it CSS only. So here we have gear template, check the height. This is something that we're doing in another place and we're gonna do it probably on Saturday, not now. So here, handle the loading state, okay. But I already handle it, so we can just remove it. Oh yeah, and also we started opting for non-fragment stuff just for that, so let's keep it consistent. What technologies do you use at your job? Different ones, really. It depends on which project you're working. Okay, so randomize recommended chunk of product. Let's see. What did I want to randomize here? Get recommended product. It's being called just I think my neighbors are drilling. Do you hear anything? No. Yes, the imports. I think it's in the product component because you said you had the same keywords but differently written. Ah, okay, so you're referring to that. Yeah. So the product page, because we have pages and we have components. So the product page, and you mean to put it as a hyphen here? But that was not the issue. The issue was that the name is product, you know, and then you cannot just do product because then you have two conflicting things, you know. Trying to understand what was this to do about. Randomize recommended chunk of products. Randomize it. So because we're always gonna get the same 4 products, right? You can see stuff still up to here, right? So I guess my point back in November was that, or in December, was that if we are on lipsticks, then you're always gonna get the same 4 lipsticks, you know, because they are the first 4 results that we have. What we should do, let's get the data.length. What? Wait, let's fix our errors. We cannot move on without this. Wait a second. We have to open our console to see what errors are waiting for us. Enable background. Okay, so we have in loader, we go to loader, have enabled background. So the thing about GSX is, long story short, everything that is here is a key of an object because of how React works and compiles and creates their own HTML. So you cannot do it like this. It has to be camel cased. And since this was copied directly from like an HTML file or an HTML example on CodePen 2 days ago, as you see, they of course had it HTML way, enable dash background. And I think we had the same here with XMLS Xlink. It had a dash. And attribute type, attribute name, basically everything needs to be camel cased if it has 2 words or more. So what else? Did I put class? Of course I did. Oh, but we don't even need that. That's not even our class. It doesn't matter if you're not finished since August 2021. It makes for more streams with you live. Yeah, exactly, right? That's the spirit. I think so as well. We're just going bit by bit and doing what we can. So, benefits item. Stroke line cap. Oh, there we go. All of those, you see? So they're all with like dashes. Okay, now let's see. Let's go to our product and see our props fading. Not to this product, but to this product. Let's close to the right. So prop category. So category and info. Oh no. Okay, so category sometimes is not there. Why is this again underscored? Okay, I want to see this data. No, I probably have it here in the network. I don't, right? Let's refresh. Thanks for the sub, Salah. So we got some JSON. I remember that you said last stream that you had a different Spotify playlist for your job. Would you mind telling us one song that you listen at work to compare with lo-fi? You mean like a different one from lo-fi? Well, it really depends on the mood. But I just have like my most recently liked songs. But I think I mentioned that, especially in summer, if I really need to get like into coding and do a lot of coding, you know, where I'm not interrupted by any meetings or anything, then I put rudimental, full on, and it just like keeps you pumping. Hey Sasha, hello, what's up? Happy to see you here. But I'm trying to think which other song lately has been on repeat. Honestly, no songs. I'm not in the mood of songs at work recently. I watch the news. That's my reality right now. Every half an hour and every hour, if I know that there's like some very big updates, I'm just like, here I have the TV, I have cable there, and I watch BBC News to get some sort of update about the situation. So yeah, not much. And also recently, if I were putting some songs, then I'm a person that I get really deep into the lyrics and I just start crying. So that's not productive. So I figured, let's maybe hold on the songs for now, because they are not really helping me, you know. Maybe make a DanaScript Spotify playlist. I could, I guess. I mean, maybe when I gather my powers to make something entertaining in that. But yeah, I could. Like something to... just got a news update, so I'm watching, sorry. But yeah, the thing is that DanaScript is a persona that codes, right? My music taste and everything is a little bit more than that. Like much more than that, you know? It's like melodies for experiences, for things that happen in life, for moods, for times of days and everything. And unless you're interested in that, then yeah, I could do that. But other than that, I'm not really sure if you'll be interested in that, honestly. Like it's really... I also have like a very wide spectrum of taste in music, which might not be everybody's cup of tea. But yeah, maybe it is everybody's cup of tea, who knows? Or maybe one day. Okay, what did I want to check? I wanted to check why is lip gloss with an underscore. I thought we changed that. So the category is lip gloss, but I think we're changing only the type. We never messed with categories. Then you make a Daniela Spotify playlist. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, I mean, again, if people are interested in a little bit more than just like the coding part, because coding is also for many people different, so I don't mind naming it DanaScript, but it's just like to settle the expectations, kind of. Hi Hamid, how are you? But yeah, maybe I can make like several playlists. You know, like one that is like coding full on, and another one is chill coding or Monday coding, something like that. Monday coding could be a good playlist, I think. You can make a Spotify clone next project and then include your favorites. Slow. Yeah. I'm actually not that keen on making a Spotify clone. I don't know why. I did a Netflix clone, kind of like a UI clone. That was already, I think I was like 8 hours coding that and then needing to edit all of that. I mean, of course, now I have streaming, but it's not easy, that thing. For some reason, it's so much easier to just create your own thing than to do a clone, really. Unless we're not strict with the cloning part, but you know. How much days left in this project? I don't know. It depends. It depends what is done, what done project means to you. I don't know days. I don't even know like what's gonna happen tomorrow. But we for sure still have like the big search page, so I don't know. Still more to come. Spotify playlist for every day of the week. I mean, I could imagine like a Monday coding and a Friday coding. So like Monday can be a little bit chill, like easing into it, and Friday could be like really like full-on prod bags kind of type of music and like vibe, you know, something that you really need to and to wrap up the week before you carry on to the weekend. Because you don't want to carry on code that you did the whole week to the next week, if you can. Because then comes the weekend, you forget about it all because you need to rest and you need to take your days off. And then comes Monday and you're like, okay, so now I need to get back into it. So yeah, fun. Let's add category here. So this should replace this underscore here. Did it? Yeah, nice. Don't forget the chill vibes after meeting playlist. I don't know what is after meeting. After meeting is dinner. Seriously, like today I had meetings the whole freaking day. Ugh. There is no point in your day when it's an after meeting within the workday. I mean, okay, fine. I did manage to go for a walk because I was just like, juicy. I cannot sit anymore. But yeah, it's like if there are meetings, then they just like my meeting started at 9:15 today and until 3 with like a lunch break in between. It's hard. It's not fun. At least not to me. Okay. So we did that. What else do we want to do here? Do you remember? I think we had something else. Why we came to this page. So we were on Willy and we were getting these products. And then suddenly one of them sets... Maybe it's loading so slow because my internet capacity, like the bandwidth, is going fully to the stream. So it could be that that's the case. Okay, looks like things work. So, okay, so if you do walks, you could do an exercise playlist or a nature playlist. Yeah, well, actually, now I'm listening to Lex Friedman's podcasts and quite enjoying that instead of music. I'm now listening to an episode where he's interviewing Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, and he had like a very strong intro. Not even thinking about Mark, just like about the situation in Ukraine and his grandfather and everything. Really touched me. So in general, I think he's a very interesting human being. And that's actually so far the only podcast that I'm listening to. Well, and another one about like plastic surgeries. Because, you know, you gotta balance life. Okay. We wanted to randomize. Here? No, not here. Yeah, here we had our console log. I want to see the data.length. $86. If you want to balance life, you need a shopping podcast also. But that's the thing, you know, like I'm trying to not just like consume for consuming. And I know it's very easy to get into this kind of like, oh, I need this and I need that and I need that. But then at the end of the day, you don't. So, no. So I have 78 here, and if we go here, it's gonna be the same, I guess, 78. Yep, okay. We'll go back to Ellie. Let's go with the lipstick. 154, okay. So, what we need to do is, let me put it somewhere here. Why it doesn't do the magic stuff? Okay. We need to find the max, not the max, the length of products. No, the amount of products, it's not the length, it's the data.length. Since we want to display only 4 products in recommended. We need to subtract, right? Subtract. Is it subtract? Subtract? Basically do a minus. I don't know if that's the word, I guess. for from the total amount, and then get a random number to define the first recommended number, its index, from the array of product, and display the, how do you call it, the following for in incremental index. Does that make sense? Basically, imagine we have 5 products and we want to display only 4 of them, but sometimes we want to start from 0 until, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes we want to start from 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5 products. And in case if we have 150, then of course like this range is going to be more dynamic. But we have limitations. In the case of 5 items, we cannot go from, let's say, index 3 and get 4, because then there are no products there, right? So we need to randomize the index of where to start taking the product's form, but we need to ensure that there are 4 products at the end left in case we reach like the highest index, you know, so we need to limit the index by 4. And I say 4 because that's what we have in our products count, and that's the variable that we're also gonna use in order to use in this little thing that we're gonna write now. It's subtract in English, but in French we say subtraction, and it always trips me up. Also, yeah, languages can be tricky, right? Subtract, okay. I was always saying subtract, so I wonder what that means. Probably nothing. Probably like an abstract, but it's a subtract. Anyway. What I need to do now is to find the min and max. No, first my playlist has ended, so let's go back and find something to play. Genre, let's go for small emotions. Okay. I don't know what that means, but we can roll with that. So we can go to, what was this resource? Was it Docs.io? Am I gonna show you something inappropriate? No! DevDocs.io. That one. If you don't know this resource, I highly recommend you to check it. It's really nice. It's also kind of like, it gives you all the things here. So let's say if you go to an array, you can see all the methods that JavaScript offers for arrays, which I think gives you like a good overview. And like, especially if you're learning, you could probably set yourself a goal to go through at least like 5 of them every day and get to know them, you know? Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Min max, math.min. What I like about them is that they also have good explanations. Like there was this, it's kind of like a combination of MDN and Stack Overflow, I think. Where was it? Math. What if I just go with math? That's too much. Math.max. That's where we were, right? To get the maximum of an array. I know that's different. Oh, I want random. That's what I want. See, sometimes I zone out and I forget. There we go, math random. And here, that's the function we want. We want a min and a max. So, I have two examples here. This example returns a random number between the specified values. The return value is no lower than and may possibly equal min and is less than and not equal max. This example returns a random integer between the specified values. The value is no lower than min, or the next integer greater than min if min isn't an integer, and is less than but not equal to max. This one will suffice. So we need to have a function called get random index, and it's gonna be here const get random index copy this, needs a min and a max. So the min is gonna be 0 because we have 0 index in arrays, which could probably be just like max random by this, right? We're gonna play along. Or let's just write it as a min so we can have it. And the min, if not passed, then it's a 0. That's also ES6 syntax. That is kind of like the default. If you're not passing this argument to the function, then it will know to not replace, but basically have its value as whatever you're passing there. With a big project like this, did you consider Redux, or are all your props only one level down? Well, we have like a couple of levels down, but just because we're decoupling further and further the components. But Redux for sure not. We are gonna use context, and I plan to work on it on Saturday, like in the long stream. And that's why we're doing like all the little things now, cleaning it up. Because there in the search, different components will need different information. So it just makes sense to keep it all in like a separate use context and not just like pass it down to all the components. So they're just gonna get it by themselves, which in its own, maybe we could even have whatever we have here as past props could also then transform into that. It's kind of like the evolution of the project, but we will see. Redux, no, because that would be an overkill here. Use context in use reducer can be really well used here to the maximum. Okay, get random index. So yeah, max and min. Max is going to be data.length. But minus product count. So I feel like here we need to have an if. We're going to refactor it, so don't like get stressed that we have so many things going on. So we have here a condition, and we're saying if data.length is bigger than products count, so it means that we have more than 4, then do a products count, which is 4. But if it's smaller, then have, let's say, 2, if we have only 2. So that should be also the case with our random index and the random function, because we should be able to randomize the products only if we have something to randomize from, right? So if the data.length is bigger than products count, then should work, right? Because if it's bigger, let's say it's 5, yeah, it should be fine. So the data.length minus product count, because we need to ensure that our maximum, that like our starting point would be, let's say we have 5 products, our starting point, the maximum one can be only 1. Yes, is it redundant to call the math random? Maybe, but we're just gonna have like a all use case situation here. Did I just spit on myself? Maybe. So, and the else. Not sure of the situation, but is data.length can be just like, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm cutting the array, right, for 4. We don't even need this else. Hey Abdul, what's up? I mean, I'm gonna just have it here, but commit it. So if the data.length is bigger than products count, then get random index. And let's const index equals, and let's console log index. Oh yeah, we need to also math dot, no, we can do it here. Let's do floor, math dot floor, or math from. Is that gonna be okay? Yeah, okay, so 48. So, can I... I'm thinking what would be the best option to take, so for example, data index 48. mean, an option could be const product equals an array, right? And then we can do like a for loop. And it can be smaller or equals to product count. Well, no, smaller if we start with 0. I. I change it to I because this is an index here. So if index is 0, index equal I. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have a loop that is going to take the index, the random index that we have, and it's gonna loop over our data, and we're gonna do data index. No. So I'm mixing things here. We have our index, which is equal I, which for example can be 48. But then our 48 will never be smaller than this. Index plus plus. Do we need another thing? Let index let me just check something. Index equals I. I know it's a mess, but bear with me. And then here this one is going to be then 0. So we have like a regular loop, right? Index 0, and we want to loop over, we want to loop 4 times. We want to loop for how big the amount of products count we have, right? So if it changes to 5, then we're going to loop 5 times, 6, whatever it is. And what we want is const element is going to data index, right? Which initially equals I, so 48, but once, and then we do products.push element. And once that's done, we can do index plus plus. And then let's console log our product and see what I made. Ooh. Let's see. Okay, array of 4. That's good. Yes, 8, 8, 4, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 7. And it's different than what we see here. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. So this dirty draft works. And we don't even need the else here. Right? We can just do a set products and do product and a return. And all of this is going to go to its own function, which we're going to call const get random product and I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, and then do I need something? Do I want to call this from here or from there? So the I is going to be a random index, and this can be I. We're gonna remove this from here. We're gonna call it here const index equals, and then with this index we're gonna call the get random product with index, and then const products are gonna be this, and then we set the product, right? So from here we need to return product. Cool. We could of course shorten it a little bit like this. Is there a better way to do it? So I think only the for loop, right, gives us the option of having the products count and everything. Only if data length is bigger than products count, because if not, then just commit the products as the data that we got. Otherwise, we want to commit only the products, these ones. Oh wait, we have a conflict here, products. No. So get random products, and here. So yeah, it's fine if we have it here, because here it's another scope. It's like outside of this part, so it's fine. It's not gonna get confused with that. Let's see. Field prop type. The prop price is marked as required in price. Let's go to price and see what's happening there. Price. Well, apparently it's not always there. Where is it not there? Well, what happened here? We got all the save and then... Okay. I want to think that this is just while we were experimenting. The default would be what? 0.0? Let's refresh it. Data is not defined. Oh, damn. Right. I need to pass the index and the data. Makes sense. Right. Boom. I didn't see those products before. Let's refresh. Do they look a little bit similar? Yay! Woo! Yo, that was the hardest thing that I ever did on stream. Usually it's like, it's not so JavaScript logical advanced. It's hard to like be fully focused when there is also a whole stream going on. Maybe I'm getting used to streaming, yay! Okay, nice, freaking nice. And the product changed. Cool. Maybe that was a little bit random to change. Should we maybe set it to null somewhere like we did before? Ooh. So this we can remove because we did it. If no product, then return. Get recommended products, and maybe here we can do initially set it to an empty array, right? Yeah, so I want, yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to trigger the loader. You go here and here. Nice. So happy about it. Oh, this is so beautiful. It's fine. Yo, that was the last to do that we have left here. I feel very accomplished after this little chunk. That's what I like about coding, this little part. Margins are nice, but this is what, you know, really feeds the brain. In my opinion. Of course, we all have our different ways of going about coding. Really, really, really nice. Okay. Wow, look at all of those changes today. Awesome, right? A lot of changes. Looks like a real website. It is a real website. That's what we're building, right? Ooh, look at this color. Okay. So we're done with the product page. I'm so happy about it. I cannot stop looking at it. Okay, we have the about page and we have the home page. Maybe we can also randomize it here, but I think we are already. I mean, we're randomizing the categories, but not. It's fine. This one has enough random things. So are you really planning to publish it? No, there is no need to publish it because it's not an e-commerce that we're gonna earn money from. But if you want to publish it for your portfolio, definitely. It's gonna be ready for people to view it. Not purchase, but to view it. So Saturday, let's talk Saturday and next plan. Our search bar, not search bar, our search page. So that's gonna be our next step, our big, huge, massive step. Let me, I don't have it here. But basically here it's gonna be, there's gonna be some filters in this area. The mouse get bigger. And here are gonna be the results. And depending on price that we put and a thing like this that we select, the results need to adjust. And this will involve state, of use context, probably use reducer. Maybe, let's see. I'll make some preparations. But it is gonna be a long stream, hopefully. Again, if it doesn't happen, apologies. I plan for it, but then life does its own, you know, it takes its own path. Doesn't ask you about it. So that's the plan for the next stream, and I really want to go like deep into the state and to go through the flow and to have it like very thorough and done as much as we can. And I think that this is like a huge core functionality when it comes to e-commerce. So yeah, I'm gonna commit all the things that we've done today. And I think it's about time for me to leave because I need to go to the night shift. And yeah, if you have any more things that you wish to see here, or something that we missed, or something that I promised and we didn't deliver, then please let me know in the comments. And for Saturday, come prepared, get all the files, and let's get into it together. And who knows, maybe we are gonna finish it on Saturday for all those people who were asking how long it's gonna take. It takes as long as it takes, okay? All right, I'm gonna wish you a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Stay safe. Thank you very much for joining. I enjoyed the chat, as always. And fingers crossed, I see you on Saturday. I'll update at what time, probably noonish, like 1, 2, maybe even 12 in the afternoon, Central European time. But I'll update my Instagram, so if you wanna check it out there, then that's the right place to check the time. So, stay safe and see you next time. Bye!